Hey guys, Mike here. So today's cult classic review is 1982's Pink Floyd The Wall, starring Bob Geldof as Pink. In Pink Floyd The Wall, a musician descends further into madness in the midst of his social and physical isolation from everyone. And so we have Pink Floyd The Wall. So guys, this is another movie in this series that before watching and reviewing it today, I had not seen it before. At least in its entirety anyway. I've seen little bits and bobs and clips from this over the years, but I've never watched this movie all the way through. I do like Pink Floyd's music, but they're not exactly a band that I listen to over and over again because I only know a handful of their songs. Though I do imagine if I knew a lot more of their songs, I would listen to a lot more of them. But still, what did I think of Pink Floyd The Wall? Going into Pink Floyd The Wall, I did think that this was just going to be an extended music video. I thought this was just going to have a shoestring plot that was basically just going to be an excuse to put all these songs in a film together. And when I'd first finished this film, that's what I did think about this one. I didn't think this had the best plot, and though I did really enjoy the music, I just found this quite underwhelming. However, upon further reflection about Pink Floyd The Wall, I found that I actually really enjoyed this story. Because The Wall is very, very open to interpretation. So much so that when I was talking to my family about this film, we each came up with our own interpretations about what this story actually meant. And it was quite interesting to hear their points and what they actually thought about this one. I think our main difference of opinion came with Another Brick in the Wall, because my family's interpretation of this song was vastly different to mine. Because I'd always interpreted this song as saying that no one is special and that we're all raised to be exactly the same. Because literally this section in the movie sees all the kids going through this machine, end up looking all exactly the same, and then in the end being more meat in the grinder. And when they say all in all we're just another brick in the wall, is just further adding to that point. At the end of the day, we're each as significant as a brick in the wall. And that's pretty much just what I've always thought that song meant. And speaking of the music though, obviously the main reason you watch this film is to hear Pink Floyd's amazing music. Now like I said, I do like Pink Floyd's music, but they're not my most favourite band in the entire world, because of the fact that I don't know a lot of their songs. Going into this one, I only knew two songs, Another Brick in the Wall and Comfortably Numb, which are obviously two amazing songs. And I was hoping that watching this film, I would find more songs that I'd want to listen to regularly. And I was a little bit disappointed to find that I'd only really picked out one song from this entire movie, other than those two, that I would want to listen to regularly, and that was Goodbye Blue Sky, which is, again, an amazing song. I'd imagine if I'd listened to this album more, I would find more songs, but that song really stood out to me. There are more Pink Floyd songs that I do listen to that I do like, but from this movie, those were the only ones. But I'll tell you now, unrelated to this film, there is one Pink Floyd song which I don't like for a very specific reason, and that is Money. The reason I don't like this song is because when I was younger and me and my brother had to share a room together, he would have this as his alarm. So every morning I'd wake up to a bass line and a load of tills being opened, and it would drive me insane. It's still obviously a really good song, but I just personally can't listen to it anymore, which is a shame because it's a good song. But I'd say the scenes that really stood out to me the most, and I would actually think that the movie itself would probably be a whole lot better if they'd filmed it all animated, because the animated scenes were phenomenal. Because in these scenes they have very little dialogue and they let the music tell the narrative. It's hard to actually pick out a favourite one from the film, and I would say that the animation did come across as very Monty Python-esque. In the end though, I would say that the music is better than the actual narrative itself. Because honestly, it is definitely the music that elevates this narrative. Because I would say the narrative wasn't exactly very clear, and you really have to kind of make it up for yourself as you go along. Which for this particular movie, I'd say isn't necessarily a problem, because it's more the music that's telling the narrative than anything else. It's just, I'd say, without Pink Floyd's music, this is a very weak story. I mean, really so much so that I couldn't name a single character from this, or really anything that they did. So guys, would I consider Pink Floyd The Wall a personal cult classic, and would I recommend that you guys should see it? When I'd first finished watching this film, I didn't actually enjoy it all that much. It's only when I stopped and thought about it, did I actually get a lot more enjoyment out of this. The music and the artwork are astounding, though the narrative is definitely the biggest crutch of The Wall. At its heart, it's a very simple story that sometimes becomes a bit needlessly complicated. And like I say, if it wasn't for the music, this movie would have been forgotten about a long time ago. And even though I really did like the music, I wouldn't say that I'd put this as a personal cult classic. Mainly for the fact that I wouldn't really watch this one again. I'd definitely listen to the music on repeat, but as for the movie itself, not so much. As for recommending you guys to see it, if you haven't already seen this one and you're a massive Pink Floyd fan, I would say you definitely need to check this one out. And also, if you want to actually explore some of Pink Floyd's music, then I'd say give this one a watch. Though I would say, take it all with a pinch of salt, because it is very much down to your own interpretation of how much you enjoy this one. Okay guys, that's my cult classic review of Pink Floyd The Wall. Do you love it? Do you hate it? Whatever you think, drop it in the comments below. Until next time, I've been Michael. See ya!